نويت التعلم والتعليم والتذكر والتذكير والنفع والانتفاع والإفادة والاستفادة والحث على التمسك بكتاب الله وسنة رسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم والدعاء إلى الهدى والدلالة على الخير ابتغاء وجه الله ومرضاته وقربه وثوابه. I intend to study and teach, to take and give reminders, benefit and assistance, and to inspire myself and others to hold fast to the Book of Allah and the Sunnah of His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to call to guidance and direct to goodness, seeking the countenance of Allah, His pleasure, nearness, and reward. Okay, so we're just going to go straight into the alphabet and just reminders of what we have studied so far. Okay, so we're going with the alphabet first. Alif, Ba, Da, Tha, Jim, Ha, Kha, Dal, Dal, Ra, Za, Sin, Shin, Sad, Dad, Ta, Dha, Ghain, Ghain, Fa, Qaf, Kaf, Lam, Mim, Noon, Waw, Ha, Hamza, Ya. Okay, so we went through on one of the previous sessions, we went through how to pronounce each letter and we put them into categories. So just to remind ourselves, we said that how many letters are pronounced with sticking our tongue out? How many? 3, yeah. So we have the Tha, the Dhal, and the Dha. Okay, so 3 letters where we would stick our tongue out. For the Tha is with a smile, Tha, and then Tha, and then Dha. Okay, so that's the heavier version. And then we said that there were 3 letters where I am touching the tip of my tongue. The tip of my tongue is touching the gums of my upper front teeth. So again, the tip of my tongue touching the gums of the upper front teeth. What's the first one? Yeah, well done, Samira. So it's Ta, and then Da, and then Ta. Okay, so we said that a good way to remember it is that we take out a dot or we add a dot, whichever way you're choosing to do first. Okay, so Da with a smile, Da, and then Da, and then Ta. Okay, so this is another heavier version of it. If you notice, one is normally with more of a smile, so either Da and Tha, and then there's one that's just a normal one, Da and Tha, and then there's the heavier versions, Ta and Dha. Tip of the tongue, where to? Okay, you need to be a little. So with the Tha, remember we just said that it's slightly sticking out. We don't take it out and say Tha. We don't say Tha. We say Tha, Tha. So it's just a real slight version of it. There's no like as in specific measurement, but it's the idea that it should be quite natural, and you're just trying to just slightly protrude it. Okay, so the Tha is with like that, and then the Tha, if you notice that the, and literally because I'm not spreading it out, I'm not smiling it out, it's just a little bit more. So as in, if this was my tongue, it'd probably be around that much. The. And then the Dha, because it's a heavy letter, like I said, it's not really about measurements, it's really about what's naturally trying to get that sound. So the Dha, because it's a heavy letter, I'm using more of the tongue slightly coming out, but it's a horizontal version of it in comparison to the Tha. So again, it's better to just look and practice as much as you can. So Tha, the first one, Tha, and then Tha, and then Dha. And I'll do one more time. So Tha, Tha, Dha. Okay, I'm really trying to emphasize that heaviness in our and that puffiness in our cheeks. Okay, so we have 3 and 3. The next category is the one where the tip of the tongue is touching the tips of the lower teeth. And so what's the first letter for that category? Okay, so za, well done. So za, and then we have sin, and then we have sod. So again, za is slightly with a more of a smile, za, and it's kind of like saying zoo. It's the equivalent of saying z, zoo, and then we have sa, and then we have so. So again, za, sa, so. One more time, za, sa, so. Okay, and then we said that how many letters are pronounced from our throat? 6. Yeah, so there's 6 letters that are pronounced from our throat, and it's the throat is divided into how many sections? 3. Yeah, and so the top of the throat is the kha and the ghain. The middle of the throat is the ha and the ain, and then the bottom of the throat is the ha and the hamza. Okay, so let's just pronounce from the top again. So nice and scratchy or gargly, depending on which letter it is. So kha, kha, and gha, kha, gha. Okay, then we have the middle of the throat, which is ha and ain, ha, ain. Or if we were going to put a fatha on it, ha, a, ha, a. And then from the bottom of the throat, it is her, a, her. Hamza is the actual name of the letter, but the sound is the a sound. So her, a, and that's from the bottom of our throat. Okay, and then we said that there was the tongue. We said that with the tongue, how many sections of the tongue have we divided into so far? With this concept that is there. There's 4. So we have the tip, we have the middle, we have the back, and then we have the side. So again, tip, middle, back, side. How many letters are pronounced from the middle? From the middle of the tongue. So remember we said that the middle of the tongue is raised up towards the upper palate. Okay, so it's actually 3, and that is Jim, Sheen, and Ya. Remember we covered this in one of the previous sessions, and we said that these 3 letters are pronounced from the middle of the tongue, being raised up towards the upper palate, but depending on what letter it is, that's how high you would raise it, and that's what differentiates one sound to the other. So can you remember which one was the highest? Was it Jim, Sheen, or Ya? Which one goes first? The Jim, yeah. So Jim first, and then Sheen, and then Ya. Okay, and a good way to practice it is to just put a fatha on it. So say Ja, Ja, and then Sha, and then Ya. So again, Ja, Sha, Ya. Okay, so these 3 letters are pronounced from the middle of the tongue. Okay, and then we had the back of the tongue. Okay, so we've kind of talked about it previously, that there's a letter that we went through in a little bit of detail that is pronounced from the back of the tongue. Can anyone remember what letter that is? Yeah, how I know it? Yeah, it's qaf. Okay, so the qaf is pronounced from the back of the tongue. Does anybody know how many of the letters are pronounced on the back of the tongue? Okay, so there's 2 letters that are pronounced from the back of the tongue. We haven't gone through it before. So as in those letters that are pronounced on the back of the tongue are 2, and that is qaf and gaf. Okay, so 2 letters pronounced from the back of the tongue. Okay, so we have qaf, which is, remember how I mentioned that if you use the tip of your tongue and you're just touching the roof of your mouth, so let's do it again. So you're getting the tip of your tongue and you're just rolling it above, And so you're feeling the bony bit, and then you should feel like a soft area. So let's do it again. Okay, and you should feel like as if you're trying to reach towards your tonsils. There's a soft area. So with the qaf, okay, so write this in your notes if you can, please. So with the qaf, it's the back of the tongue raised up towards the soft part of the upper palate. Okay, so again, the back of the tongue raised up towards the soft part of the upper palate. We will be repeating it every day anyway, so if you didn't catch it all, don't worry. Okay, so the back of the tongue raised up towards the soft part of the upper palate. What does that mean? That as in, you can't touch it, because remember, this is your tongue. Okay, there's my tip, and I am trying to, here's my roof, and I'm trying to lift the back of my tongue up towards the soft part of the upper palate. So imagine that this is the upper palate. Okay, this is my bony bit, where it's my hand, and the bit where my sleeve starts is the soft bit. Okay, so here's my tongue, and I'm essentially trying to lift the back of the tongue towards that soft part. Now I can't touch it, it's physically impossible. So I'm just raising it slightly, and it will just be a slight raise, and that's what makes that qa sound. Okay, so now what do you think the difference is between the qaf and the gaf? Have a little think. So remember, this is your roof. It has to come from the same area, okay, because this is a letter that is pronounced from the back of the tongue. Okay, so the qaf, yes, is heavy, okay, but what is the difference is in terms of a place of articulation. Okay, so the difference is that here's your roof, as I mentioned, we've got the soft part here, the hard part here. With the gaf, it's the back of the tongue raised up towards the hard part of the upper palate. Okay, qaf is towards the soft part, gaf is towards the hard part. Okay, it's not all the way here, this hard part, it's just very much close to that soft bit. Okay, so just in technicality, okay, obviously the more you practice, the better you'll be at it. You're not literally going to be able to see where you're pronouncing from, but it's just for your theory. So again, the qaf is pronounced where the back of the tongue is raised towards the soft part of the upper palate. The gaf is the back of the tongue raised up towards the hard part of the upper palate. Okay, so remember how we said that the soft part and the hard part, that gaf is very much close to that soft part. It's not all the way over there near your front area. Okay, so again, the qaf, it will be a heavy letter. The gaf is a light letter, and as one of you mentioned, that normally with the light letters we smile it out. Okay, so let's practice it again. Qa, ga, qa, ga. Okay, so qaf is the heavy one and gaf is the light one, and there's two letters that are pronounced from the back of the tongue. As we mentioned the middle of the tongue already, that there's three letters that are pronounced from the middle of the tongue: jim, sheen, and ya. And we also, in the previous lesson, as I remember, we went through the letters that are pronounced from the edge or the side of the tongue. Can anyone remember how many letters are pronounced from the side of the tongue? Two. Well done. Okay, so we have the letter dad, and what was the other one? The lam. Yeah, well done. Okay, so the lam and the dad are both pronounced from the side or the edge of the tongue. Now the dad, we've already gone through, that it's the side of the tongue touching the molar teeth. We can either use both sides or we can use one. So let's try it again. Da, da. And then if I was going to put it with a sukoon and put an alif before it, would be al. And remember how we said that we're trying to get that puffiness in our cheeks. And then with the lam, we're using the fronted edge of the tongue, touching the gums of the upper front teeth from canine to canine. Okay, so again, the fronted edge of the tongue, touching the gums of the upper front teeth from canine to canine. Okay, And we are just going to go through also the next place of articulation, which is, so if I was to ask you, we haven't gone through it in as much detail. Normally I go through at the start, but as in terms of, with the Arabic language, with the Arabic alphabet, there are how many places of articulation? And when I mean places of articulation, I'm talking about like throat. We know that we're using the tongue, so we've already gone through two. So the one being the throat and one being the tongue. What do you think another one is? Another area of my face or the inside that I'm using to pronounce the letter. Yeah, the lips. Okay, so how many letters do you think are pronounced from the lips? Okay, so Haifa saying 3. Is everyone in agreement? Or she changed it to 4. Okay, so there are 4 letters that are pronounced from the lips. Okay, which ones do we think they are? So we know that the ba is, because we've kind of gone through it. And then what do you think? What do you think the other ones are? We know that meme is because we've gone through it kind of already. Another one? Okay, so another one is fa. Yeah, well done. That's 3. And what do you think the last one is? It's one that hasn't got a circle already. Not noon. Remember when you're saying na, you're not pronouncing it yet. Whoa. Okay, so with the ba, we know that we press the lips together, and we said it's the wet part of the lip pressed together softly, no, hard, strongly. Okay, so again, ba, ba, in comparison to ma, which is the dry part of your lip, press lightly or softly. So ma. Okay, and then we have the whoa. And we went through this a little bit in one of the previous sessions. That it's kind of a common mistake to use your teeth in the whoa. Okay, so some people will find it difficult, some do not. But with the whoa, remember it's just circling of the lips. Okay, so if you're writing in your notes, it's the circling of your lips. Wa, wa, woo, wow. Yes. Okay, so the wa. And then we have the fa. Now, the difference between the ba, mim, waw, and fa is that how many lips are we using for the ba? 2. With the mim, we're using 2. With the waw, we're using 2. And with the fa, we're only using 1. And that is our lower lip. And we've already gone through how to pronounce the fa. Remember how we said that the upper teeth are just grazing. Okay, so remember it's important to remember and note that it's grazing into the wet part of the lower lip. So again, the fa is pronounced by the upper teeth, the 2 upper teeth, grazing into the wet part of the lower lip. Okay, and so you'll see that what do we have remaining? Technically, remember how we said about the alif, that the alif, if it has a fatha, kasra, or a dhamma on it, it no longer becomes an alif, it becomes a hamza. So you would say that as a sound. So the alif is pronounced from the throat. The only ones that we haven't gone through so far in its technicality is the ra and the noon, which inshallah we'll do tomorrow. Okay, so what I'd like us to do now is that we're just going to do a quick recap, and then I'd like you to find the rules in the surah that I've chosen for today. Okay, so as a quick recap, we said that when you see a noon or a meme with a shadda, we pronounce it with gunna. Okay, and then we said that there are 5 qalqala letters, qalqala meaning to bounce or echo, and whenever you see these 5 letters with a sukoon on it, okay, so qaf, ta, ba, jim, dan, you would bounce on that letter. The next one was about the lam in the name of Allah. If there is a fatha or a dhamma before the name of Allah, we pronounce the lam in the name of Allah heavy. Okay, we also said that if the ra has a fatha, or the ra has a dhamma, or the ra has a fathatain, or the ra has a dhammatain, we pronounce the ra heavy. And then we said that there were 7 heavy letters, those being kha, sad, dad, ta, dha, ghain, and qaf. Okay, so I'd like you again to look for these rules in the next surah. And I know that we haven't been going through many of the rules after these, but it's just because I want you to secure it. Remember, you don't want to go through through the rules too fast, that you're not securing your knowledge. So it's more important that you're finding it and you're able to easily find than for us to quickly run through all the rules. Okay, so for today, I've chosen Surah Zalzala. It's a bit blurry. I'm sorry about that. It's just print screen. Okay, so what I'd like you to do first is for you to find if there's any noon mushaddas or any mim mushaddas. And remember, you're just noting it down on your own paper so that everyone has their own opportunity to find the rules. Okay, so you're looking for a noon with a shadda on it, or you're looking for a meme with a shadda on it. That little W. Okay, so noon mushadda or meme mushadda. We're going to go on to the next rule. Okay, so you're looking for any of the qalqala letters. Qaf, ta, ba, jim, dal, and it has a sukoon on it. And remember, in this script, the sukoon doesn't look like a little circle, it looks like a little crescent. Okay, so you're looking for a qaf that has a little crescent on it, or ta has a little crescent on it. That's what you're looking for. Any of these 5 qalqala letters. And then you're just noting down a number. Okay. And then the next rule is whether you can find the name Allah in this surah. So first of all, you're looking for whether there is Allah mentioned in this surah. And if it is, then you're looking at whether it is heavy or light. If it has a fatha or a dhamma before it, then it would be heavy. If it has a kasra before it, then it would be light. Okay, so have a quick skim through. Can you see the word Allah? And then once you've done that, then you are looking for any heavy ra's. So remember, it's any of these 4. We're only concentrating on these 4. Okay, so ra with a fatha, ra with a dhamma, ra with a fathatain, ra with a dhammatain. How many do you find? Just out of these 4, please. Okay, and then you are looking for any heavy letters now. Okay, so you're looking for whether you see a kha, sad, dad, ta, dha, ghain, or qaf. And remember, any of these letters, if they're in there, it doesn't matter whether it's got a fatha, whether it's got kasra, whether it's got a dhamma, whether it's got a sukoon. It's a heavy letter if it's in there, and it's one of these 7. Okay, so you're looking for any of these 7 letters, and you're noting down how many you found. Okay, let's have a quick through and go through the answers then. So let's start off with the noon mushadda. Okay, so let's have a look. So إذا زلزلت الأرض زلزالها none وأخرجت الأرض أثقالها none وقال الإنسان ما لها none. يومئذ تحدث أخبارها, none. بأن, that's number one. So بأن ربك أوحى لها يومئذ يصدر الناس, that's number two. أشتاتا ليروا أعمالهم فمن يعمل مثقال ذرة خيرا يره ومن يعمل مثقال ذرة شرا يره. Okay, so two. So if you found two, then well done. Okay, and then the next rule is the qalqala. So let's have a quick look as to whether we found any qalqala. So while I'm reading it, if you're able to recite also, then do so. Okay, so we're going to go through it. إذا زلزلت الأرض زلزالها, none. وأخرجت الأرض أثقالها, none. وقال الإنسان ما لها, none. يومئذ تحدث أخبارها, none. بأن ربك أوحى لها, none. يومئذ يصدر الناس أشتاتا ليروا أعمالهم, none. فمن يعمل مثقال ذرة خيرا يره, none. ومن يعمل مثقال ذرة شرا يره, none. Okay, the name of Allah, is there any name of Allah mentioned in this surah? There is none. Okay, so there's no mention of the word Allah in this surah, so we don't need to look as to whether it's heavy or light. The Ras. Okay, so let's try and pay attention to it. So we're only focusing on those four. Okay, those that come in between, I'm just going to ignore them for now. We're going to go through the rule of the letter Ra in its second term tomorrow, inshallah. So, إذا زلزلت الأرض زلزالها, none. وأخرج, so the Ra here. وأخرجت الأرض أثقالها وقال الإنسان ما لها يومئذ تحدث أخبارها بأن ربك أوحى لها. That's three so far. يومئذ يصدر الناس, the Ra with a Dhamma on it. يصدر الناس أشتاتا ليروا, the Ra's got a Fatah here. ليروا, that's five. أعمالهم فمن يعمل مثقال ذرة, so the Ra here, ذرة خيرا, so the Ra here again, that's seven. يرى, that's eight. ومن يعمل مثقال ذرة, so the Ra again, that's nine. شرا, the Ra again, that's 10. يرى, that's 11. Okay, so there should have been 11 that you found. Okay, so note down that 11 and you get your task. If you didn't find it, or all 11 during this session, then try and find it later on today. Okay, next is the heavy letters. So we're just going to go through it again. إذا زلزلت الأرض, the Dad, one. زلزالها وأخرج, the Kha, وأخرجت الأرض, the Dad again, that's three. أثقالها, that's four with the Qaf, أثقالها. وقال, the Qaf again, that's five. وقال الإنسان ما لها يومئذ تحدث أخبارها, so the Kha again, that's six. بأن ربك أوحى لها يومئذ يصدر الناس, so the Sad here, that's seven. يصدر الناس أشتاتا ليروا أعمالهم فمن يعمل مثقال, that's eight. مثقال ذرة خيرا, that's nine. خيرا يره ومن يعمل مثقال, so again the Qaf, that's 10. ذرة شرا يره, so there's 10 altogether, 10 heavy letters. Okay, and we will leave it as that, inshallah. So remember that don't feel that if you didn't manage to get them all right or you missed some out, you're not expected to be able to find them quickly in a short space of time. I just want us to keep practicing every single day, and you will inshallah you'll find that you're getting a little bit better at it, or you're realizing, oh, that was a silly mistake, or I should have seen that, and so forth. So don't feel disheartened if you're not able to find them all. Inshallah, we will be able to together by the end of the sessions, inshallah. Okay, so Jazakallah khair, and I will see you tomorrow, inshallah.